Hey, welcome. So today we're going to talk about something that I think a lot of us struggle with. It's this idea of purpose. We spend so much time trying to figure out our why, but then what? How do we stop just thinking about it and actually start living it? That's what this is all about. We're going to break down how to turn that big, kind of scary idea into small, simple things you can do every single day. So let me ask you this. Maybe you've done the work. You've journaled, you've meditated, you've figured it out. You know what gets you fired up. But then Monday morning rolls around, right? And the daily grind just takes over. Suddenly there's this huge canyon between the purpose you know you have and the life you're actually living. Well, we're gonna build a bridge across that canyon, right here, right now. And here's the secret. And it's so beautifully simple. It comes from the work of neuroscientist Ken Mogi. The answer isn't some huge, dramatic, life-changing moment. You don't have to quit your job and move to a monastery. No, the real power is in the small stuff, the quiet, consistent things you do every single day. It's about building a life of meaning one tiny brick at a time. That's the whole heart of Ikigai. Okay. So before we get into the practical how-to part, we need to get on the same page about the what. What even is this thing we're building? The entire idea of Ikigai stands on 4 pillars. You can think of them like the 4 legs of a table. If one is missing, the whole thing gets wobble.
So let's look at these 4 pillars. Think of it like a personal compass. First up, what you love. Simple, right? What are the things that make you feel alive, that make you totally lose track of time? Number 2, what you're good at. These are your talents, your skills, the things you've worked on and honed over time. Then there's what the world needs. This is so important. This is where you connect to something bigger than yourself. How can your unique gifts help others, even in a small way? And finally, pillar 4, what you can be paid for. This is the practical piece that makes it all sustainable. Now, the magic spot, your Ikigai, is right in the middle where all 4 of those circles overlap. That's the sweet spot we're aiming for.
All right, so we've got the map, we understand the 4 pillars, but a map is useless if you don't actually take a step, right? So now for the fun part. Let's turn this concept, this theory, into an actual, real-life daily routine. And I mean something you can literally start doing tomorrow.
And look how simple this can be. We're not talking about a massive life overhaul here. Just start with a 5-minute morning reflection. Before you even look at your phone, just jot down a few things you love. That connects you to pillar 1. Then, find 30 minutes for a skill focus. That's you actively working on pillar 2, what you're good at. Sometime during the day, make one simple connection to help someone. That's pillar 3, what the world needs. And then, before you go to sleep, take 60 seconds for a gratitude pause. Just reflect on the small joys. You see, these are micro habits, but when you stack them up day after day, the change is, well, it's huge.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Really? 5 minutes of journaling is going to change my life? And I get the skepticism, I really do. But it's all about the compound effect. It's like interest in a bank account. These tiny deposits of purpose-driven action grow into something massive over time. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's look at a couple of incredible real-world examples.
First, let's talk about Marie Kondo. Her entire global phenomenon, the books, the Netflix show, it all started from a very simple personal habit. It was something she loved, organizing, and something she was incredibly good at. She took that personal habit and scaled it into a movement that's helped millions of people live with more intention.
And it all boils down to this one tiny question. Does this spark joy? I mean, think about that. That question is Ikigai in practice. It's a little filter for your life. By asking that question over and over,
You're not just cleaning out a drawer. You are actively, consciously curating a life that is filled with purpose and meaning, one small choice at a time. It's brilliant.
Okay, for our second example, let's go from the home to the factory floor. This is Taiichi Ohno, an engineer at Toyota. He championed a philosophy called Kaizen, which basically just means continuous improvement. He wasn't looking for some single game-changing invention. Instead, his focus was on making tiny, relentless improvements every single day. And this is just such a perfect illustration of our main point. All those little tweaks, all those small, mindful actions, day after day after day, they didn't just make a slightly better car, they completely revolutionized the entire auto industry. It is absolute proof that tiny, consistent actions, when they're aligned with a purpose, can lead to unbelievably massive results. It worked for a car company, and it can work for your life.
But this whole idea, it goes even deeper than just productivity or success. It's about resilience. It's about how we handle the hard stuff. The psychologist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl wrote this incredible line. He said that when everything is taken from us, when we can't change our situation, the one thing we can still do is choose how we respond. We can change ourselves. And that is Ikigai as a source of pure strength. It's about finding meaning even when it feels like there's none to be found. So, we've talked about the what, we've talked about the how, and we've talked about the why. Now we've reached the most important part of this whole conversation, your part. Let's stop talking about it and actually do something. Let's put your Ikigai into action, starting today.
And here's your starting line. The key is to keep it almost ridiculously simple. Please, don't try to change everything all at once. Just pick one single tiny habit that connects to one of those 4 pillars. Maybe it's sketching for 10 minutes, or writing one paragraph of that book you've been thinking about, or sending one text to a friend who might need it. Whatever it is, identify it, write it down, maybe even put it in your calendar, and then just do it every day. That's it. That's your first step on the path.
And that's where we'll wrap things up. The big takeaway here is that living your purpose isn't some far-off destination you arrive at one day. It's a practice. It's a collection of small, mindful choices that you make every single day. Now, if you enjoy these kinds of conversations and want to dive even deeper, maybe in a more informal, laid-back way, you can always check out our podcast over on Spotify. But for now, I really want to leave you with this one question to think about. What is the one small change you are going to make today?